Throughout college football history, there have been many games, plays, and situations that have defined a program. Like Boise State's Statue of Liberty play to win the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, or the clash between Notre Dame and Florida State in 1993, dubbed the Game of the Century. Whether it be Saban's Crimson Tide or Mum's inception of the air raid offense, these scenarios have helped mold these schools into the storied programs that they are today, with all of the prestige and talent to go along with it. But what about a school that's just beginning their journey? A fresh start, a clean slate. How does a new program stack up to these powerhouse schools that have been dominating for decades or longer? I bring you the humble beginnings of the Delaware Tech Jaguars. In the small town of Newark, Delaware, football was becoming more than just a game to this community. It was becoming a tradition and a way of life. The Delaware Tech Jaguars, a determined FCS college football team, had long harbored aspirations of joining the prestigious ranks of the FBS. Their journey was led by a passionate but young head coach, Steven Reed, and eventually by quarterback R.J. Whitney, whose talent and resilience became the heart and soul of the team. The 2023 season began with high hopes and immense pressure to go along with it. Under Coach Reed's visionary leadership, the Jaguars aimed to achieve the seemingly impossible. They wanted to unseat the North Dakota State Bison and win the FCS National Championship. The team had a talented roster and a supportive community, but their journey took an unexpected and tragic turn when senior quarterback Todd Hammonds, the team's leader and beloved figure, tragically passed away in the middle of the season. The loss of Todd was a devastating blow. The entire team and the town of Newark and the state of Delaware even were shaken to their core. The community gathered that night on campus in Todd's memory and released glowing lanterns into the night sky to honor Todd, who had just turned 22 1 week before his accident. As Coach Reed watched the lanterns float away, he realized that instead of wallowing in his sorrow, he had to think about what would Todd want. Del Tech football was Todd's life. Saying he was dedicated would not paint a vivid enough picture for those that did not have the privilege of knowing him. It was then that Reed knew he had to keep the season alive, not just for the team and for the community, but for Todd himself and for his memory. But now he needed a quarterback. He would turn to R.J. Whitney, a freshman at the time, with a strong arm, quick thinking, and an unbreakable spirit. R.J., who had always admired Todd, found himself thrust into the spotlight under the most heartbreaking of circumstances. The grief of Todd's passing lit a fire within R.J. and the entire Jaguars squad. United by their loss and inspired by Todd's memory, the team dedicated the rest of the 2023 season to him, even wearing a large round patch with the letters TH and the number 14 on their jerseys to honor Todd. RJ, with a newfound sense of purpose, took the helm and led the team with poise, precision, and passion. They were already 6-0 at this point, but the Jaguars began to play not just for wins, but for Todds' legacy, embodying his spirit in every snap, every pass, every run, and every touchdown. Week after week, the Jaguars triumphed, showcasing resilience, determination, and unparalleled teamwork. They went on to achieve a perfect 12-0 record, a testament to their hard work and the emotional fuel driving them that season. It was magical, each game bringing the community closer together and solidifying the team's place in Delaware sports history. As the season drew to a close, the Jaguars' success captured national attention. Among their biggest supporters was Delaware native President Joe Biden. Moved by the team's story and their unyielding spirit, Biden saw in the Jaguars' ambition a reflection of his own values: hard work, perseverance, and the belief in the American dream. In a speech delivered on the steps of the state capitol, Biden expressed his support for the Jaguars, calling them a testament to what determination and community can achieve.
This has become about more than just football. This team has captured the hearts of an entire nation. I couldn't be more proud of what these kids have accomplished under such extraordinary circumstances.
His endorsement was an absolute game changer for Del Tech. It drew national attention and placed them in the spotlight. The Jaguars' story resonated with people across the entire country. Media coverage surged and the university's financial situation began to improve as donations and sponsorships flooded in. A new state-of-the-art stadium was built, complete with a large scoreboard with Delaware Tech in large letters across the top, and even a badge with the letters TH and the number 14 in the bottom right corner to honor Todd Hammonds. That scoreboard became a beacon for this tight-knit community. The final test was the NCAA Evaluation. A panel of experts visited Delaware Tech's campus, scrutinizing their facilities, financial stability, and overall readiness for FBS competition. The university's newly renovated stadium, fueled by the influx of donations, now boasted state-of-the-art amenities that impressed the panel. RJ and the rest of the Jaguars team gave a performance for the ages, showing off their skills in a series of high-stakes scrimmages that left the evaluators in awe. On a crisp December day, the NCAA made its decision public. The Delaware Tech Jaguars have been accepted into the Football Bowl subdivision. The campus erupted in celebration as students, alumni, and local residents poured into the streets. It was not just a victory for the football team, but a triumph for the entire community. News of the Jaguars' induction in the Football Bowl subdivision spread across the country quickly. Many analysts were weighing in and giving their opinion on the new kids on the block. The two most notable, however, being Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not going to sit here and say that the Delaware Tech Jaguars didn't do well in the FCS last season. They did great. They did as good as you can do. 12-0. It doesn't get better than that. They got talent on the field. I mean, especially R.J. Whitney leading the charge. I mean, he's got potential. I'm not mad at that. But here's where things get a little murky. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. The president of the United States, okay, is the president of the United States. You've got to stay in the lane. Stay with the politics, Joe. Was the endorsement truly about the Delaware Tech Jaguars, or was it about boosting his own legacy, putting Delaware on the college football map? That's my question. Don't get it twisted. I mean, his influence opened up some serious doors for these kids, okay? But did they earn it with their performance, or were they handed a golden ticket? The FBS isn't just about feel-good stories. Prove that you belong, or the haters are going to come out of the woodwork saying that this was nothing but a political play. I'm watching. We're all watching. Make sure you give us something worth watching.
And of course, the GOAT himself, Kirk Herbstreit.
Well, just looking from a long-term perspective, I really actually like this move for college football. The more the merrier, and for all we know, we could look back at the next 10, 15 years on one of these teams and say, you know what? This was one of the best additions to the lore of college football that we've ever had. So it's a win in my book. Red River, Delaware Tech, welcome to Division 1A. Welcome to the FBS.
The Jaguars' journey to an FBS invitation was paved with unforgettable moments and contributions from remarkable players whose stories intertwined to create a season for the ages. Now with the 2024 season on the horizon, Jaguars have finally assembled a roster that they feel is worthy to compete in their new home in Conference USA. Among these players are upperclassmen returning from the incredible 2023 campaign, along with new recruits and even a couple of transfers from the transfer portal. Guys like Ezekiel Miles, a freshman recruit whose heart and determination overshadowed any doubts about his talent despite him being slightly undersized. Sophomore running back Dio Richardson, known for his elusiveness, was another standout. His quick, darting runs and ability to find gaps in the defense made him a nightmare for opponents. Dio's agility and vision adds an unpredictable element to the Jaguars' offense that's sure to keep defenses on their heels coming in 2024. Jason Green, a sophomore linebacker, was one of the best athletes on the team in 2023. His speed, strength, and football IQ made him a force to be reckoned with on defense. Jason's leadership and ability to read the game ensured that the Jaguars' defense was just as formidable as their offense. Another sophomore, wide receiver Jason Knight, became R.J. Whitney's favorite red zone target in their undefeated campaign. Standing at 6'5", Jason's height and leaping ability made him nearly unstoppable toward the end zone. His connection with RJ resulted in numerous touchdowns, some that even were game-winning, that electrified the crowd and demoralized their opponents. Junior safety Xavier Harris, affectionately named Baby Doc for his play style reminiscent of the legendary Brian Dawkins, was the heart of this defense. His fierce tackle, strategic playmaking, and unyielding spirit inspired the entire team. Xavier's leadership on and off the field earned him the respect of his teammates and the admiration of the Del Tech fans. Also, Marco Summer, a four-star freshman edge rusher from Charlotte, North Carolina, was known for his raw ability and formidable presence on the field. Even as a freshman and a new recruit, he made an impression instantly in camp, and his teammates humorously dubbed him Tiny due to his larger-than-life presence. While the excitement of this enormous FBS opportunity was fresh in the minds of the Delaware Tech faithful, they hadn't even had the time to think about the other team who was just accepted into the FBS just 4 days after the Jaguars' initiation. Halfway across the country, the Red River Outlaws were celebrating their own invitation to not only the FBS, but to Conference USA, the exact same division as the Jags. This would come as no surprise to many, as the Outlaws, hailing from Lawton, Oklahoma, were coming off a stellar season of their own, where they went 11-1 with their only loss coming against Oklahoma State, where Red River held their own, losing 31-30 off of the heartbreak of a failed two-point conversion in an attempt to steal a win and avoid an overtime shootout with the Cowboys. Red River U felt as though they were a much better team than the Jaguars, especially from a personnel perspective, with a roster headlined by the likes of running back Zach Moore, wide receiver Drew Stokes, defensive end Darius Faatiu, and defensive back Aaron Patrick Flood III, just to name a few. They were also bolstered by a strong recruiting class heading into 2024, adding star quarterback Kaiser Jackson, tight end J.J. McKinley, defensive end Normel Samaj, and linebacker Jalen Jackson, among many others, from a recruiting class with no shortage of potential. While Delaware Tech was still planning out the new road that lie ahead, Red River was hard at work making sure the entire country would know which of these two teams really deserved their invitation to this conference. As the 2024 season approached, the Jaguars' preparation intensified. With new facilities, a modern stadium, and the backing of an entire state, the team was ready to take on the FBS. The memory of Todd Hammonds remained a driving force, and the team's unity and resilience just continued to grow. Coach Reed, now a celebrated figure, knew the journey was far from over. The transition in the FBS would be a challenge, no doubt, but armed with the undeniable talent, the Jaguars were ready to face any obstacle and show these FBS fan bases what they've been missing. The Delaware Tech Jaguars story was no longer just about football. It was a tale of dreams realized, adversity overcome, and a community united. With the support of their town, the endorsement of President Biden, and the indomitable spirit of their team, the Jaguars were ready to soar to new heights in the world of college football. Despite being what some might call a, quote, small program, Del Tech lived by one motto that they embodied better than anyone. It is not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. So this is the part of the video where you guys get to see the hashtag ad players that you guys worked so hard on an actual roster in college football 25. I want to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for watching the video, but also thank you so much for the ones that submitted hashtag ad players, especially those of you that went in depth with your backstories, because of course that part is optional, but big shout out to those of you that really put time and effort into those. I also want to thank you guys for your patience waiting for this dynasty to come out, because I wanted to make sure that everything was perfect and that I had all of the uniforms and rosters together. We got everything ready to go now, my boys. Everything customized for our dynasty. Believe it or not, it might not look like it, but that intro took a long time to put together. So if you guys did like it, man, leave a like on the video for me if you had a good time. And if you are rocking with me but you're not subscribed yet, consider sticking around and joining us, especially on this particular journey, because I feel like it's going to be a really good one. Anyway, I'll leave you boys to it to look at the rosters to see where your player ended up. A big congratulations to those of you that made the hashtag ad player roster cut. If you didn't make the cut, it's only because there wasn't a position available for you, but I can assure you, you will make the cut in future recruiting classes. So much love to all of you boys that made it for this video. We will be back very soon with episode 2, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.